I'm Oscar Lehtineri. I'm a photographer, and today I am going to go through one of my books. This one I have over here. It's a book by Signe Brander named Panorama Vyer. Panoramoja. It's photos of old Helsinki, and I think this one is an interesting one because very often when I go out, I don't know what to shoot. I have the plan to shoot maybe some people doing something, but I end up shooting people that are just walking, and it's nothing wrong with people just walking, but I feel that very often every photo is of people walking, and I don't maybe put enough effort into finding those interesting shots of people that are doing something. So I thought I would get some inspiration through looking through these old photos of Helsinki from a different time. Also because when you go back and watch old photos, you see that the photos that probably would be quite ordinary, like this one over here, of of uh, of an ordinary scene back in the days, today is something historical, and that's something that I do think is very valuable to keep in mind, that the photos that you take today might in 10 years tell a totally broader and more interesting story that than they are today. For instance, I have this one photo. Sorry, I don't have it here. I have this one photo uh, of a police station, just 2015 or something. But since then, they have closed down the police station. It's a hotel nowadays, and the police cars outside of the building, they look super old now, even though they are just like 10 or a bit more uh, older than they are than a police car now. Um, it's super interesting that that photo, which didn't mean anything at the time, when I look at it now, it has a totally different value, and that's something that I find really interesting. Welcome to the chat. If you have any questions about street photography, my name is Oscar, and my deal is all about street photography and how we can use that as a tool for art, tool for telling history, tool for anything. Street photography is a really broad niche of photography. In my From my perspective, it's a lot about art and finding those mundane stories. Let's see. I think my focus is a bit off. Oh, well, right there. Now I got it. So if you have any questions around street photography and around photography, I gladly answer that. And today I'm looking at this book here, Panorama Vyer by Signe Brander. Alright, let's see what we have. Photography books. Do you read a lot of photography books? I do too seldom. This one is from the Helsinki City Museum. And the photos are from 1907 to 1913 by this woman here, Signe Viola Brander. The book is written in mostly Finnish, but I think it's in Swedish as well. Yes, it's in both Swedish and Finnish. And my mother tongue is actually Swedish, so and I speak Finnish as well, and then English as my third language. So I'm skipping the story today. Let's go to the images. Let's start here. It is the photo from the I think it's the same photo as the one on the cover, but a broader picture of it. And I think it's quite interesting, this train here, for instance. Nowadays you can't come here by train, you can come here by tram, and this is the market fair where you can buy fish and you know, there's a lot of tourist shops here nowadays, these orange ones that you see if you have been in Helsinki, downtown Helsinki by the sea. But back then it looked like this, and an ordinary scene. People, let's see what it says actually. We have they say it's the city's most lively commercial place where you could buy groceries, fruits, meat, sausages, eggs, all these things that you need. And this picture here is from 1909, and as I mentioned, the train doesn't go anymore here, but that back then in 1909 the train daily visited the market fair. And what they do here, which is quite cool, is during winter time they keep their fish, the fishermen keep their fish in the holes in the ice. So that's why they are standing out on the ice over here, I think, and that's how they keep the fish cold. But then also they have this this small house over here that is out, which seems to be out on the ice, and it's kind of it's just there for winter time when the ice is good enough. And here you can like put on your ice skates if you come there to ice skate or something like that. So then after that, when the winter starts to, when it's spring, they take this whole house away for before the ice melts. So this is quite cool. An ordinary scene. So this is just, I'm just inspired. This is something that really inspires me, that an ordinary scene can give so much. Here's actually from another perspective the same market fair. Let's see if I have the date, 1909, so it's 2 years later. Looked like this back then. A lot of these houses are still there, but of course things has changed. There has been war since these days in Finland. Another ordinary day, 1909. This, if something, inspires me to go out shooting just ordinary things, because in just a short while you will start seeing that these photos of yours are valuable, even though at the time you don't feel it. Inspiring. Very inspiring. And at the same time, I think like when we look at photos like this, even though the landscape has somehow changed, some things are there, some old houses are like still there, we can still somehow see that the time hasn't changed that much. And that's something that I find really interesting as well. Here we got a photo from 19... what does it say? 1912, I think. I think they build ships here. So there's a lot of landscapes, old boats. Maybe they were new at the time, but nowadays they would be quite old. 1909 again. Oh, so this is one of the Orthodox churches in Finland, in Helsinki, and you can still visit it today. This is from 1912. So I met this one. Oh no, actually I didn't meet. No, this was a sorry, confused my stories. I heard about this one photographer who enjoyed taking pictures of construction sites. I think he mainly worked in New York, or photographed in New York, and he really enjoyed taking pictures of construction sites because they are sites that you can never see again. They are very in the moment. If you come there the next day, it might look totally different. So the situation, the thing that you document today is already old tomorrow, and in just a few months there will maybe be a new house or a new facade or something like that, and no one will remember the construction site. But if you have taken that one picture, it might tell a story of a time or a city in transition, and that's something that's, I don't know, inspiring as well to me. For me, this book actually by Signe Brander, when I got it, I don't know even when or where I got it, but it did not inspire me that much from the perspective that I do enjoy photos of people, and I would say it's more of, as the name says, it's panoramas of Helsinki, and it's a lot of, like, I would say, landscape photography. And I enjoy the stories of people. Of course, there are some people, like here, for instance, this photo from 1913. There are these stories, but the stories are told through the landscape more than through the individual person, and I'm very into like individual stories more than landscapes. Let's see what they are building. Or they're just building a house that I know nothing about. But what I do see here, if you have visited Helsinki, one of the landmarks in Helsinki is the Great Church here. A lovely place to go to during winter season. They have fairs there. They have a lot of things going on, both for children and grown-ups. So go and visit that for winter fair, for instance. Then we have this one here. Is it the presidential palace? Let's see. It's from a 1911. The old 1911, where you tax stuff when you bring it to Helsinki. You go through here, and it's also for packaging and stuff like that. That's a nice one. Nice photo. All right. So if you have any questions around street photography, want to comment, if there's something that you would like me to discuss on these live streams, please feel free to do that. Today I'm cleaning, going through stuff. It's just me babbling, listening to some chill music. That's how it is today. Helsinki 1911. It's from the Senate Square. The Senate Square is where the big church is that I just mentioned. So this is where the Christmas fair is held and all that nowadays. Looks quite similar from today, but nowadays there's so much trams going here and stuff like that. So it's in that way has changed a bit. The view there's no electric lines going here, and these stairs, they actually remind me. Back in the days when I was young, I did a lot of extreme mountain biking, and one thing that we did was we rode these stairs with our mountain bikes, which was totally crazy. I was scared to death every time I did it, but that's what we did. 1907. Here we got some people actually. Seems like a police officer talking with someone else. And during 1907 we were still part of Russia. It's the Kirkon Katu. So it's as you can see, the great church, or whatever it's called, is there in the background, and this is like the back streets of that. So this is what Helsinki looked like back then. There's a lot of old tree houses. Many of them are not left anymore there, but some parts of Helsinki still do have them. Here we got some children, dogs, or is it cats? I don't know. I think it's dogs. 1907, before the war. The Soviet Union bombed a lot of Helsinki during the wars that we had with them. So that might also be a reason that a lot of these places aren't anymore. I think also, like, I think it's quite interesting that Signe photographing this, it was probably quite unique to have a person come around with the camera and setting that up. It wasn't an easy thing to do. It took a lot of effort to take these photos, so it was probably quite interesting for the people around to see that there's this woman coming around with a camera in that day and age. In 1909. Unionin katu. All right. It's so fun also from my perspective that these are places that I, wander around taking my street photos at, but they look so different now. A lot of the places, and that's something that also is, for me at least, very inspiring to wander these streets that has been there for 100 or maybe 200 years. I don't know how long. Oh, I remember watching this photo the first time. I really enjoyed it because there are so many layers to it. This is a great photo. There is like this middle ground here with the things going on. Here's someone, hanging their clothes for drying, and like it's these backyards, then it's this big street, then we have this awesome background with the Helsinki skyline. This is a cool picture. You can actually, I really took time looking at this because I was like, there's this one person here, and I was like thinking like, what is that person waiting for? And then I followed like the possible paths that this person would go. Maybe the person is waiting for someone, and yeah, I for me it was super inspiring to just dive into this photo, and it also inspired me to figure out like how could I take similar photos. Of course, it's more difficult to do it nowadays in Helsinki because there are so many like high buildings in the way, so you don't see into like yards and stuff like this. This is like when this is since this photo is from '07, things are different. Yeah, but very inspired. I could have like this is a photo that you should like put like really big up on a wall because it's such an interesting photo. Is this a guard maybe? It is a guard from 1907. I think I know this place. Siltavuoren ranta. Wow. Nice photo as well. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, any ideas around photography, please share them in the chat if you want to. It's very cool to also just hang by and like go through these photos. This one is quite nice actually with the boat here. It's a rowboat or something. Very nice scene. Wow, I should get out. Do more photos like this. Even though I'm not, as I said in the beginning, these kind of photos don't inspire me too much. If I go out taking these kind of pictures, I rarely value them that much. But when you look at these photos, 120 something years old, these kind of photos have so much value because they tell a story about a different time. Super cool. I think we're back at the market square. Let's see. Oh, it's the railway. It's the oh, okay, it's from this perspective. It's by Central Railway Station in Helsinki. You can't see it here because it's on that side. And here we have our big theater. Oh, really nice, really nice. This is from 1909. And these houses are still here, so that's nice. Nice to see. Dun, 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 dun. And this is the yard by the Ekberg's bakery, just by Aleksanterin katu. If you watch my earlier videos and stuff like that, Aleksanterin katu is where we did the photo walk just in the beginning of December, the 13th of December. This photo is from 1915, so it's a fairly new one. almost just a little bit over 100 years old. Then we have Kaisaniemi Puisto, where there's a lot of partying going on. It's still there. It's still a park where a lot of people meet up during different events to get together, to party, to drink, stuff like that. And then we have another one from Kaisaniemen Puisto from 1912. (1908). I really do enjoy these photos taken from like up from a cliff down. It really makes an like I like the perspective a lot. Super inspiring. Yeah, I think it's kind of like we want to kind of go through all these places where you could go and try to look if someone doing something somewhere, and that's why I really like these perspectives. Maybe I should try more of these. Yeah. So are you into street photography? What kind of photography is your jam? My jam has been street photography for 10 15 years, something, maybe 16 years. Some reason I really like I started out with doing more landscape photography, but then at some point I changed the perspective and started looking more towards the city life. Maybe because nature is so beautiful in itself, so I don't enjoy that much taking pictures of it. Or I felt like if I see something really nice in nature, it's not, the challenge wasn't really to take a nice picture because nature is nice in itself. But I feel like a city sometimes is not always very beautiful, and that inspired me to play around more with the views of a city and try to make them interesting, try to tell stories of people, or give the opportunity for the viewer to make up a story about a person that you see in my photos. This photo here is from 1908. Ooh, sea view. Beautiful views, beautiful views. There is so much not yet built that nowadays are like full of apartments and buildings and stuff like that, commercial buildings. This is from 1913. 1913. Again, another beautiful photo of a landscape. I should really start doing more landscapes like this with quite a high f number as well, so that you get like everything. As you can see, like a lot in the background too, the like foreground is quite sharp, so you can actually like follow it with your eye. It's not blurry in the back, and that's when you have like a higher f number, like say f10 or 11, you start to get like a wide depth of field. So a landscape like this is possible to shoot. If you would have it on like 1.8, like on my 50mm Canon, you wouldn't get like this background. It would just be blurry. But by doing like this and having a camera like this, you get like everything in focus. And this is of course not a problem if you shoot with a mobile phone, for instance, or a mobile device. Nowadays you get that wide depth of field. I think people more are looking for getting that blur, but you don't want that blur if you're taking these landscape shots, because you want the viewer to be able to follow the paths here, the people and the roads. Yeah, this is super interesting. Are you into landscapes? Let me know. Let me know. The chat is open for your amusement. Let's put a message there. Where are you from? Yep, the question of right now. Where are you from? I would love to know, where are you from? Who's popping in and looking at this live stream? I myself, I live just outside of Helsinki, Finland, and today I'm watching this book by Signe Brander of old scenes from Helsinki to inspire myself to go out and do more street photography. Signe Brander did a lot of um, landscape street photography, if I may call it that. It's streets, it's but it's more from a landscape perspective. So the story is more of the space than the people, or the streets, individual streets. So this is super cool to look at. A book from Helsinki City Museum. Dun, 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 dun. So that's what I'm looking at today. Where are you from? Please let me know in the chat. I think I'll do a short intro to this small live stream, so I can use it later on. Let me shut down the music for a while. I'll take my You ever felt that you didn't know what to photograph? Have you ever felt that you don't have any inspiration? Here's a thought. Pick up a photo book, maybe of your city. Today I'm looking through Signe Brander's book, Panoramoja, from Helsinki, to inspire myself to do more street, to realize that the things that I'm actually enjoying is today I'm trying to inspire myself through the book of Signe Brander, and where the idea is to maybe wake up the idea is to inspire myself by seeing that the photos I take today might be very valuable tomorrow or in 100 years, because Signe Brander took her photos over 100 years ago, and when I look at them today, they are amazing. When they were shot, some of them maybe a bit boring, other ones are super interesting. So history and time makes your photos amazing very often. let's get back to the photos. I don't know that in that thing. I don't know that felt really off. Anyways, sometimes I do these intros to my videos, and I feel like I don't know how to express myself or how to keep myself short. But you know, that's what it takes. Sometimes you need to fail, you need to try, you need to do it on like somehow, and then after that you'll figure out a way to do it better. And of course you have the possibility to cut yourself and make like do editing on your talks. But at the same time, I'm a bit tired of the fast content, and that's why I do these live streams instead, so that we can sit together and wonder about, you know, photography together like this, and not get focused on that everything should be so fast. I do love to watch a good photography video, but I think what I enjoy even more is communication with you. And that's why I often or always want to know what's your perspective on photography. Why does it inspire you? Why do you go out shooting? Why are you hanging here in the stream? So, and also of course, where are you from? Because I think your culture, the place you come from, that gives a but I think that has a big part of how you view the world. And if you are a photographer like me, um, I think that when someone watches your work, um, I think that your culture will shine through, and it makes your photos unique. And that's something that I feel is super super interesting. And that's why I'm having these live streams, just to hang with you. And today I'm cleaning and streaming, and answering questions if you have any. My question to you is where are you from? And of course, if you have a question about street photography, about photography, if you have a question around anything regarding photography, I would love to answer it. And if I can't answer it, then well, that's what it is. I'm going through photos of Signe Brander from 19 the beginning of the 1900. This one, for instance, is from 1908. She was a photographer in Helsinki, and shot a lot of photos of that time. Photos that I feel at the time weren't maybe that interesting, but probably now are super interesting because of their historical value. And so that's why I'm looking through these today. And since I'm cleaning, I picked up some. I have a lot of a lot of photo books, but I have some, and this is one of them that I really go back to, and get inspired from. I think very often we get, you know, when we move around the same streets every day, we stop seeing the beauty of the street. But when we look at photos from that same street over 100 years ago or something, 120, then we might get back some of that inspiration that we have lost. This photo here is from the Lantinen Viertotie. Okay, I don't know where that is. I don't know. It's in Helsinki, but I don't know where. Here's cool. Since I enjoy photos of people, here we got a girl walking towards the camera, which for me it makes me more inspired. And we had the people here sitting. It's a super cool shot. I do enjoy how it's framed with the house here, and then like there are these leading lines here that kind of guides the eye. And this is a very nice photo. I like the composition here. Dun, 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 dun. Another sea view. If you haven't been in Helsinki, there's a lot of water around. Helsinki is just by the sea. Helsinki is the capital of Finland, if you didn't know, but it used to be Turku, which is another city where I did one live stream just a while back. The other, the reason to that was that back in the days, Finland was part of Sweden, and during that time, Sweden is a lot closer to Turku than Helsinki, so they wanted the capital to be close so that the king could travel from Stockholm to Turku more easily. But then, as Finland got their independence and all that, we wanted to have Helsinki as our capital. I think I might be wrong about this. Might also be that Russia wanted Helsinki because it was more close to St. Petersburg, because we have also been part of a Russia. 1907 this photo is taken. If you want to hear more about or go through more of these photo books, I would love to hear that. If you're interested in photo books, that's something that I gladly share with you and sit down and go through more. I have one actually. I went to this book signing event by Metallica's photographer. I got the book signed. We also got to hear the people there, of course, stories behind the photos of the band Metallica, and then also the bass player of Metallica had popped up at the event and told some stories from the 90s in LA. During the times there was these gang wars between the Crips and the Bloods. And because he was also part of a band called Suicidal Tendencies, a could you say hardcore punk or punk band, and he was a bass player of that band before Metallica, and he was telling stories about that time and how those times affected the photos and things that was going on around LA that time. Even though he wasn't in Metallica back then, he came to that band. I think it was back in 2006 or something. Robert Trujillo, and and then we got another view from 1911. There's a lot of photos in this one, but hey, as an inspiration to you, go and check out local photo books in your local library to get inspired. I think that's a great way to get back that inspiration if you feel you lost it somewhere. Thank you very much for joining me on this live stream today. I'll do more of this every now and then. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified when these happen, and also go and check out my channel for more videos. Live streaming is something that I think is the future, so it has been around for a long time, but I think live streaming is the future because we crave more connection nowadays. And what better way is to sit down, discuss, look at photos if you're into photography, stuff like that. It will inspire us. It will make us go out and meet more people. And also, if you're into photo walks and live around the Helsinki area, in the description I have the link to my small community, Find Photography community, where we arrange photo walks for people that are interested in joining some community events around photography in Helsinki. So take care, and don't give up your daydream. Bye.